Imagine paying for things online by just giving your email address and a delivery address, leaving the actual payment part to be sorted out later. Sound too simple to be true? Well, it's a business model that Swedish online payments firm Klarna has had great success with. Its latest round of funding values the company at $2.25 billion. Now coming to the U.S., joining us now to discuss is Klarna's North America's CEO, Brian Billingsley. Welcome, Brian. Great to have you here.
Oh, it's so great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So explain how Klarna works exactly. You front the customer the money and then what? Bill them in the mail later?
Yeah, that's right. I think that's a good way to look at it. I mean, really, the problem we're solving is there's these great mobile applications, these great websites, these devices we all have in our pockets that makes it so easy to find the product that you want.
Right.
And then you hit the checkout page, and it's circa 1993 with all the 40 fields you have to fill out, and there's so much friction in the checkout. And there's actually, it's almost a $4 trillion. The amount is about $4 trillion that merchants are losing out on
because of all the merchandise that's left in the cart that never actually gets bought.
That's exactly right.
The whole process is too difficult.
That's right. So what we do is we allow that consumer to use just email and zip code and the shipping address.
But how is that so different from the consumer side as from PayPal?
Sure. Yeah, great question. So the difference is fundamentally we split buying from paying, where even with great companies like PayPal, there's been a level of friction where you've had to sign up, give your bank account, give a credit card number to actually use PayPal, and you actually have to choose PayPal in the checkout.
Right.
Klarna allows you to check out with just email and zip.
So explain the security behind that, because I'm sure it's pretty easy to get somebody's email and zip code, right?
It is. So in the background, to make something so frictionless in the front, in the background, there's a lot going on. So we're looking at how does that consumer interact with the website? How fast are they entering that data? What's the geolocation of that device? Have we seen you before? Even down to what do you have in your cart?
I see. So you can determine whether I really am who I am.
Exactly.
You have a lot more information than just my zip code and my email address.
Yeah, we really treat it as a conversation with that consumer. If we know we've seen you before, we've seen Tanya, she's come in, she's buying things that are relevant to what she's purchased before, we'll just let you breeze right through.
So is the hardest decision you have to make then the first time somebody uses Klarna? Is that person trustworthy?
In many cases, that first decision is where we'll pull the most data just to make sure that that consumer is truly who they say they are.
And so what is the benefit then for retailers? Obviously, they're going to have a higher conversion rate, people buying the stuff. But are they paying you a fee? How do you make your revenue?
Sure, so they are paying us a fee just like they're paying any other payments company. But really two differentiators for Klarna. One, the conversion is higher, so they're getting 20 to 60% more checkout conversion than with some of our competitors. And two, we take the full risk. So once that consumer hits the buy button, Klarna steps in and says, merchant, as a retailer, you shouldn't have to worry about chargebacks and fraud and those operational burden and overhead. Klarna will take that on for you, and we take the full risk.
And so this model has been going on for 10 years in Stockholm, right? Stockholm-based. So it's been successful. What percentage of transactions have been fraudulent?
Sure. So it's a very low percentage. I mean, overall, our models learn very quickly, and if you compare us to maybe some publicly traded private label issuers, our fraud and credit losses are even lower than theirs. So we're actually well ahead of plan from fraud and credit losses.
Very interesting. And so now you're here in the U.S. How's it been going? Have many retailers signed up already?
We have, and we were working with great retailers like Overstock and Shoes. We have about 20 more merchants that are using us currently, and it was really, the focus was to make the product perfect for that U.S. consumer. And now you'll see us really scale this year. I mean,
now, how much money will you front a consumer? Let's say I want to make a really big purchase. Are you going to judge that differently than if I'm making a smaller purchase?
So yes and no. I'd say the size of the purchase and what you're purchasing will change the kind of data we're going to pull in. But we'll do transactions up to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Now,
do you front the money and then let customers pay it back in installments?
We do. So the consumer can also pay how they want to as well. So they can pay if they have their Amex card, they want to get the points, they can use their Amex. They said, you know what, I'd rather break that $5,000 purchase up into multiple payments. They can do that as well.
And you charge a little interest for that?
We do charge a little interest, depending on the credit program, but yes.
Now, and Klarna is now actually also a bank in Sweden, correct?
We are.
How does that change things?
So it really allows us ultimately to be a more consumer-friendly and more transparent, where we can, we're in full control of our products. And I mean, we are a unicorn, but we also make money. So we're one of the unicorns that are actually actually profitable.
Right.
But everything we do is both to have good business sense, but also be very consumer centric. Every product needs to make a consumer's life better and drive sales for the retailer.
Brian Billingsley, thank you so much for coming to tell us about Klarna.
Thanks for having me.